Hi everyone, I'm Sanaya and welcome back to Culture Soul, where culture and soul unite. Today I am here with Mr. Leviticus Glover.
Yeah.
So Leviticus, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Just a little biography, just
Okay,
a little bit. Where you're from.
Let me see. All right, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I majored in mass communications. I currently work here at Bethune-Cookman University now. I graduated in December of 2022, but I will be walking in spring 2023, the commencement ceremony in May. For the most part, I am the second of three, and also I'm the middle child. Yeah, I'm into film and pretty much media, all media, but particularly film and docuseries and documentaries and things like that. So yeah, this is exciting.
Okay, so tell me, what inspired you to come to Bethune-Cookman University?
That's a great question. Okay, so backstory, I used to play basketball. And I ended up blowing out my knees for a total of 3 times. Then the last time I toured, I was supposed to play basketball here. And I was speaking to the coach and everything at the time. He's no longer here, but for the most part, we were beginning to develop a relationship. And then, again, I blew my knee out, and the only school that I got accepted to was here at Bethune-Cookman University. And I felt like God meant to put me here for obvious reasons. And I really enjoyed and still currently enjoying my time here at Bethune-Cookman. So it's really something that's exciting.
Great, so I know you mentioned being, an athlete and wanting to do basketball. Along with basketball, were you always into doing films and being in mass communications, or was that something that came along later?
That is definitely something that came along later. So I played basketball, and I blew my knees out, had a lot of downtime, right? And so at the time, YouTube was really blowing up. Everybody's doing YouTube. Hey, I don't have nothing to do. Why not get on YouTube and start my own YouTube channel? Right. So one thing led to another. I carried that from the end of high school all the way up to my freshman year of college, doing YouTube. A whole bunch of YouTubers here on campus at the time. I was a freshman here. Then sophomore year, I ended up filming parties. Okay. Then that really began to develop into something else. And then one thing led to another, and now I'm enjoying film production, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know personally that you're into DJing as well. So tell the people about the different types of things that you've been involved in, whether it was DJing, filming. Tell us about the whole process of how all that came to.
So I started with filming. Of course, now we got the film thing going. Okay, with one thing that really brings your video to life outside of the visual aspect is the audio. When I say audio, the music side, right? A good teacher of mine named Mr. Shaw, definitely, he's into music tremendously. Right. And one summer, I believe I was orientation leader here, and we just spent a lot of time in the studio. He kind of opened me up. He did open me up to Adobe Audition, as well as Adobe Premiere Pro, but in this case, Adobe Audition taught me how to mix music in there. And of course, he's a DJ, so he pretty much what you would do on a DJ board, he taught me how to do on Audition, which led me to saying, hey, I want to get into DJing. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, now I know you mentioned you're from Atlanta. Yeah. You know.
So I know Atlanta is like Black Hollywood. Tell me how being from Atlanta inspired you to become who you are today.
What's funny is, okay, Atlanta is made up, let me try to put this. Atlanta is made up such of a creative aura, yet, how I want to say this, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it's creative but unique. I was thinking weird, but I'm gonna say unique. It's creative and unique in its own way. So you have many people who come from Atlanta, especially here at Bethune-Cookman, who majority of them are creatives in even though they're not in mass comm, they're still taking pictures, or they're still coming out with their own clothing brand, or pretty much that's the gist of Atlanta, right? And so with me not playing basketball anymore, pretty much it's like, okay, now I'm tapping to another side of Atlanta that I'm not used to, and bringing that here to Florida. Although I am from Atlanta, I'm really not a fan of Atlanta, but I'm a fan of the art of Atlanta, if that makes sense, and the people and the aura of Atlanta. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how that kind of made me, if that makes sense, kind of putting two together. I wouldn't say fully Atlanta made me. I think Florida has something to do with my sense of creativity as well, as well as just how I grew up with my parents and everything, so my childhood. So I think that's where that creativity and stuff come from. So 'cause the things I have up here is wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were a student at Bethune-Cookman. Now you work for the school. So tell me, what are your plans once I know you already graduated basically, but now you're gonna be walking now in the spring in May, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me, what are your plans after graduation?
Definitely to continue to just learn in the position that I am currently at. That Mr. McCaskill, my overhead, my boss and everything like that, learning from him, continue to learn from Mr. Shaw, continue to build LeVision Productions, if you know, you know, and just really continue to work and learn and day by day grow within film production, also live production, because I have tapped into that. According to what I've done with my internship and now what led me to where I'm at now. So just really growing in production in this whole, whether that's the visual, the audio, learning different things, lighting, everything like that. So just continue to grow and be open to opportunities that God allows me to have. So, yeah.
Okay. Now with your films and documentaries, what inspires you, or what type of direction do you go towards whenever you're making a documentary or a film?
That's a good question. I watch a lot of, that's a good question, but I don't know how to answer that. Okay, I watch Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele is one of my favorite directors, as well as I kind of like Ryan Coogler. Not because they're black, also they are black, but not that's one of the reasons, but also too, the way they can bring stories to life, whether it's Black Panther and how visually with Ryan Coogler, how we can feel like this is a real place, and Jordan Peele and how he uses sarcasm, satire, how he tells his stories through different entities and variables that are unique and really fanatical in a way that really makes you go back and look at the movie over and over again and really try to spark a sense of curiosity within myself. I feel like that's one of his goals, to really go out and bring my own story to life in a way that he did. So, yeah.
What do you think are the biggest pros and cons of being a young filmmaker?
Let me ask you this. First. What are the pros and cons for you? And I know you are a freshman here at Cookman. What are your pros and cons here at Bethune-Cookman as a freshman?
I think my number one con would be like trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Because I know like being in mass comm, it's a wide variety. It's a lot of things you can do. So I think just focusing on one thing is kind of like a con, a little bit.
Got you. Okay, now take that as far as what a con from on my side as a young film producer, a film director. That's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much trying to figure out what works for me and what do I want to focus on, because there's so many things that you want to do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you can build, if you're not focusing on building one thing at a time, then you're just gonna have a whole bunch of scattered pieces.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah. So.
What advice would you give to any incoming freshmen coming into the mass communications department, or anybody who's interested in filmmaking, producing, directing? What advice would you give to them?
Always be open-minded coming in, and then as you begin to grow, slowly start narrowing down what you want to do. Take every opportunity that comes your way, because you may not get that opportunity again, or that opportunity that you once had may not be as big as the next one. So whether that's going to out of state, the school gives you opportunity to go out of state, or go to a conference or anything like that, take it. Because now you're in college, you have no boundary. You really have nothing. Do whatever, pretty much. Right. Don't really come in saying, hey, I'm gonna do this. Yes, keep that, but also say, okay, I'm gonna be open-minded to other things as well. That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And what's a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Take your time. I would tell myself, be patient. Take your time. There's no reason to rush. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. That's how I tell myself.
Would you like to shout out your social media, any platforms where we could find you?
First off, before I say that, I would like to commend you on doing this. This is a great interview. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I would like to say LeVision Productions. That's all it is. LeVision, LEVISION Productions, PRODUCTIONS on Instagram, and also YouTube. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Leviticus, for allowing me to interview you.
No problem.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm Sanaya, and this is Culture Soul. Thank you for watching.